There is no credible evidence or confirmed reports that Tom Cruise was kicked off Good Morning America after a heated clash with George Stephanopoulos. The search results provided include references to unrelated incidents, such as Caroline Leavitt and Mark Wahlberg being involved in alleged clashes on the show, but these appear to be from unverified or sensationalized sources like YouTube videos with disclaimers noting that the stories may be entertainment-focused rather than factual. No specific mention of Tom Cruise in this context appears in the provided web results or other reliable sources. However, I can piece together a detailed narrative based on the context of Good Morning America, GMA, George Stephanopoulos, and Tom Cruise's public persona, while addressing the lack of evidence for this specific incident. Since you requested a Ba'u Lambi story, very long story, in English, I'll provide a comprehensive, speculative narrative grounded in the known dynamics of the show and the personalities involved, while clarifying that this is a hypothetical scenario as no such event is documented. The hypothetical story: Tom Cruise in a clash on Good Morning America. Background: the setting of Good Morning America. Good Morning America is a flagship morning news and talk show on ABC, broadcast from Times Square Studios in New York City. It features a mix of hard news, celebrity interviews, and lifestyle segments, hosted by anchors like George Stephanopoulos, Robin Roberts, and Michael Strahan. Stephanopoulos, a seasoned journalist with a background in political advising during the Clinton administration, is known for his sharp interviewing style and ability to navigate high-profile discussions. Tom Cruise, a global superstar, is famous for his intense charisma, high-energy promotional appearances, and occasional controversial moments tied to his personal beliefs or professional conduct. The hypothetical incident: imagine a sunny morning in July 2025, with Good Morning America buzzing as it prepares to welcome Tom Cruise to promote the latest installment of the Mission Impossible franchise. The film, known for its jaw-dropping stunts, has generated massive buzz, and Cruise is expected to deliver his trademark enthusiastic pitch to the GMA audience. The show's producers have planned a lively segment, complete with clips of Cruise performing death-defying stunts, like free climbing a skyscraper or piloting a fighter jet. George Stephanopoulos, fresh off a week of vacation, as noted in a July 24, 2025, article where Joe Buck filled in for him, is back at the anchor desk. Known for his incisive questioning, Stephanopoulos has a reputation for occasionally steering interviews into deeper or more challenging territory, as seen in his 2024 interview with President Joe Biden, where he pressed on age and performance concerns. This sets the stage for a potential clash with Cruise, whose interviews are typically carefully managed to focus on his films rather than personal or controversial topics. The interview begins. The segment starts with the usual fanfare. Robin Roberts introduces Cruise with a warm smile, highlighting his decades-long career and the anticipation for Mission Impossible. Cruise bounds onto the set, exuding energy, shaking hands with the hosts, and waving to the live audience. The initial conversation is light, focusing on the new film's stunts. Cruise recounts a story about jumping off a cliff on a motorcycle, a stunt he described in a 2025 New Yorker article as nothing unusual, despite the crew needing to clear ice from the ramp. Stephanopoulos, however, shifts gears. Drawing on his journalistic instincts, he pivots to a more probing question, perhaps inspired by recent media scrutiny of Cruise's public image or his association with Scientology, a topic that has sparked controversy in past interviews. For example, in a 2005 Today Show interview with Matt Lauer, Cruise passionately defended his beliefs, leading to a heated exchange. Stephanopoulos, aware of Cruise's history, might ask something like, "Tom, you've been open about how your personal philosophy drives your work ethic. How do you respond to critics who question the influence of those beliefs on your public image?" The clash: Cruise, caught off guard, responds with his characteristic intensity. He might lean forward, flash a tight smile, and say, "George, I'm here to talk about Mission Impossible, about bringing joy to audiences, not to rehash old narratives. Let's focus on the work, okay?" The audience senses the tension, and the other hosts exchange glances. Stephanopoulos, undeterred, presses further, perhaps referencing the 2024 ABC News settlement with Donald Trump over a misstatement, which had put Stephanopoulos under scrutiny. He might say, "As journalists, we have to ask tough questions. Your fans want to know the real Tom Cruise, not just the action hero." The exchange escalates. Cruise, protective of his carefully curated image, might raise his voice, saying, "I don't think that's fair, George. I put my life on the line for these films, and I'm here to share that passion, not to be dissected. The studio falls silent. Stephanopoulos, maintaining his composure, tries to steer the conversation back to neutral ground, but the damage is done. Cruise, feeling ambushed, abruptly stands, removes his microphone, and walks off the set, leaving the host stunned. The aftermath. The producers cut to a commercial break, and social media explodes with speculation. Posts on X claim, Tom Cruise storms off GMA after clash with Stephanopoulos. The incident becomes a trending topic, with some fans praising Cruise for standing up to what they see as unfair questioning, while others criticize him for dodging accountability. ABC News, already sensitive to controversy after the 2024 Trump settlement, issues a statement, "We regret any discomfort caused during today's interview. Good Morning America values open dialogue and appreciates Mr. Cruise's contributions to cinema." Behind the scenes, tensions are high. Stephanopoulos, who signed a new multi-year deal with ABC in December 2024 despite salary concerns, faces scrutiny from network executives wary of alienating high-profile guests. The show's ratings, already trailing NBC's Today, 2.69 million viewers for GMA versus 2.83 million for Today the previous week, could take a hit if the incident alienates viewers. Meanwhile, Cruise's team releases a statement emphasizing his commitment to his fans and his disappointment with the interview's direction. Context and analysis. This scenario, while hypothetical, draws on real dynamics. Stephanopoulos' journalistic approach, honed during his time as a Clinton aide and his years at ABC, often involves pushing boundaries, as seen in his Biden interview. Cruise, meanwhile, is known for his intense focus on his craft and sensitivity to personal questions, as evidenced by past interviews. The lack of a confirmed incident in the provided sources suggests this could be a rumor or exaggerated story, possibly inspired by unrelated GMA controversies, like the alleged Caroline Leavitt or Mark Wahlberg clashes, which also lack corroboration from reputable outlets. If such an event occurred, it would reflect broader tensions in morning television, where the balance between entertainment and journalism is delicate. GMA's high overhead, with anchors like Stephanopoulos earning up to $20 million annually, and its recent move to new studios, indicate a network under pressure to maintain relevance and viewership. A clash with a star like Cruise could amplify these challenges, especially if it fuels perceptions of bias or hostility. Conclusion. While no evidence supports the claim of Tom Cruise being kicked off Good Morning America after a clash with George Stephanopoulos, the hypothetical scenario illustrates how such an event could unfold given the personalities and stakes involved. Cruise's departure would dominate headlines, spark debates about media ethics, and test GMA's ability to navigate controversy. For now, this remains a speculative tale, and fans should approach such stories with skepticism. As the commercial break ends, the Good Morning America set is in disarray. The live audience, still buzzing from Tom Cruise's dramatic exit, whispers as the cameras roll back on. Robin Roberts, ever the professional, smoothly transitions to a weather segment, while Michael Strahan cracks a light-hearted joke to ease the tension. Off-camera, producers scramble to manage the fallout. Social media platforms, especially X, are flooded with clips of the heated exchange, with hashtags like #TomCruiseGMA and #Stephanopoulos clash trending globally. Posts range from fans defending Cruise's passion to critics accusing him of overreacting to a fair question. Behind the scenes, George Stephanopoulos retreats to his dressing room, reflecting on the interview. Known for his calm demeanor under pressure, as seen during his 2024 Biden interview, he's rattled by the public backlash. His team reminds him of the 2024 ABC News settlement with Donald Trump, which cost the network $15 million after Stephanopoulos' misstatement. The last thing ABC needs is another high-profile controversy, especially with GMA's viewership, 2.69 million weekly viewers in July 2025, per Nielsen data trailing NBC's Today. The network's new Hudson Square studios, a multi-million-dollar investment, were meant to signal a fresh start, not a PR crisis. Meanwhile, Tom Cruise is whisked away in a black SUV, his publicist already fielding calls from outlets like TMZ and Variety. Cruise, still fuming, feels blindsided. His promotional tours are meticulously planned to focus on his films, not his personal life or Scientology, a topic that has dogged him since his 2005 Today Show clash with Matt Lauer. In a call with his Mission Impossible director, Christopher McQuarrie, Cruise vents, "I came to talk about the movie, not to be put on trial." McQuarrie advises him to stay off social media and let the team handle the narrative. The media storm. By midday, the incident dominates entertainment news. CNN runs a segment titled, Tom Cruise vs. GMA, What Went Wrong? While Fox News speculates about Stephanopoulos' gotcha journalism. On X, a user with 500K followers posts a viral thread analyzing Cruise's body language, claiming he was visibly shaken by Stephanopoulos' line of questioning. Another post, with 10K likes, defends Cruise. He's a legend who risks his life for our entertainment. GMA ambushed him. The polarized reactions mirror broader debates about celebrity interviews and media accountability. ABC's PR team issues a carefully worded apology. We value our guests and regret any misunderstanding during today's segment. We look forward to continuing to bring meaningful conversations to our viewers. Cruise's team counters with a statement emphasizing his dedication to fans and his disappointment with the interview's direction. Notably, neither side confirms Cruise was kicked off, debunking the rumor's most sensational claim, but the narrative persists online. The incident also reignites scrutiny of Cruise's Scientology ties. A 2025 New Yorker article about his career had briefly touched on the church's influence, and now tabloids like the National Enquirer speculate wildly about his motives. This puts Cruise in a bind. Addressing the controversy risks fueling it, but staying silent lets the narrative spiral. GMA's internal reckoning. At ABC's headquarters, executives convene an emergency meeting. Stephanopoulos, whose $20 million salary makes him a cornerstone of GMA, faces pressure to smooth things over. Some producers argue the question about Cruise's beliefs was valid, citing Stephanopoulos' journalistic duty to probe. Others, wary of alienating A-list guests, push for a softer approach in future interviews. Robin Roberts, a unifying force on the team, suggests inviting Cruise back for a follow-up to clear the air. We can't let one moment define us, she says, drawing on her experience navigating GMA's past scandals, like the 2022 Amy Robach T.J. Holmes affair. The network also grapples with external pressures. Disney, ABC's parent company, is in the midst of a $1.5 billion cost-cutting initiative, and GMA's high overhead, salaries for Roberts $18 million, Strahan $17 million, and Stephanopoulos, makes it a target for scrutiny. A dip in ratings could jeopardize the show's budget, especially after the costly Trump settlement. The team decides to spin the incident as a learning opportunity, planning a segment on tough questions in journalism to regain viewer trust. Cruise's next move. On the other side, Cruise strategizes with his team. His mission, impossible film, set for a global release in 2 weeks, is projected to gross $1 billion, and negative publicity could dampen its momentum. His publicist suggests a charm offensive, an appearance on a rival show like The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, where Cruise can showcase his humor and relatability. However, Cruise, ever the strategist, sees an opportunity to turn the GMA incident into a narrative of resilience. He agrees to a sit-down with Oprah Winfrey, whose 2005 interview with him, infamous for the couch-jumping moment, gives her a unique perspective. The interview, streamed on Oprah's own platform, is a carefully orchestrated redemption arc. Cruise opens up about the pressures of fame, admits he could have handled the GMA moment better, and pivots to his passion for filmmaking. I'm not perfect, he says, but I pour my heart into every stunt, every story, for the fans. The interview garners 10 million views, shifting the narrative in his favor. The return to GMA. A month later, GMA extends an olive branch. Cruise, wary but pragmatic, agrees to return for a special segment. The setup is different this time, a live audience Q&A moderated by Robin Roberts, with Stephanopoulos taking a backseat to avoid reigniting tensions. The segment focuses on Cruise's stunt work, with fans asking pre-screened questions about Mission Impossible. A highlight is when a young fan asks, "How do you stay brave doing those stunts?" Cruise, flashing his megawatt smile, responds, "Bravery isn't about not being scared, it's about doing it anyway, for the people watching." The segment is a ratings hit, drawing 3.1 million viewers, GMA's best in weeks. Stephanopoulos and Cruise share a brief, cordial handshake off-air, signaling a truce. X posts praise the resolution, with one user writing, "Tom Cruise and GMA turned a clash into a comeback." Respect. The incident fades from headlines, replaced by buzz about the film's record-breaking box office. Broader implications. The fictional clash and its resolution highlight the delicate dance between celebrities and media. For Cruise, it underscores the challenge of maintaining a polished image while navigating personal controversies. For GMA, it's a reminder of the tightrope between journalism and entertainment, especially in an era where morning shows compete fiercely for relevance. The incident also reflects 2025's media landscape, where X and other platforms amplify every misstep, forcing public figures to adapt swiftly. Clarification. This, Part 2, is a creative continuation of the hypothetical scenario, as no verified reports confirm Tom Cruise being kicked off GMA or clashing with Stephanopoulos. The story draws on real-world context, like GMA's ratings, Stephanopoulos' career, and Cruise's public persona, to craft a plausible narrative. If you'd like me to search for updates, analyze specific sources, or pivot to a different angle, e.g., a real Cruise interview or GMA incident, let me know. Ying on verified sources for accurate information. If you'd like, I can search for additional details or analyze specific sources to clarify further. Let me know.